They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. In a Kaya News exclusive, Seth Mazibuko, one of the student leaders during the June 16, 1976 uprising, was at the center of the chaos that erupted on that historic day and recalls why police began to use live ammunition, killing and injuring thousands of students.
Students' first confrontation with the police, where students even banned the police car, was the students of Naledi High on the 11th of June. A student called Enos Ngujani wrote a letter to MC Buotha and to Sam Dibier protesting, against the use of Afrikaans as a medium of instruction. Instead of getting a reply, he got a visit by the security police, the special branch, and they came to the school. And whilst they were in the office of the principal and with Enos, and then students made fire out of their car. They didn't burn it. I don't know how did they make fire. That's a joke. But they made fire. Now I'm trying to say, when you speak about June 16, you've got to bring in those pre-1976, pre-June 16, activities that took place. And let me take it further. June 16 itself was as a result of a meeting that was held, that was called by the South African Student Movement, SAZM, which was a high school body of the Black Consciousness Movement. Now, they had their annual general meeting that took a resolution to support Orlando West High, Sinawane, and Tonjeni, and Bele. And then they then asked me to come into that meeting, to come and address them, to give them a report of the situation in those schools. And I obliged. And that meeting was in Welgerspruit in the West Rand of Soweto. And it was that meeting there that took the resolution to call students together. And the students were called student representative together. A comrade of mine and a friend, Zweli Sizan, was then asked as the national organizer of SAZM to organize that meeting. The meeting was organized for the 13th of June at DOCC YMCA in Orlando East. So a lot of things happened in Orlando East. And then, so in Orlando East, students met in the afternoon of the 13th, it was a Sunday of the 13th of June. And believe you me, that was that meeting that planned June 16. That was that meeting then that elected what was called an action committee. The action committee was then led by Seth Mazibuko. Seth Mazibuko was elected the chair. I was elected his deputy. Sbongile Mtembu, now Mrs. Mkabela, here's a woman, was then elected the secretary. And then Mefi Morobe, the treasurer. And there was a gentleman called SAP, and a gentleman also called Peace or Lietzi, Voice Lietzi. So it was that committee that was mandated by the students in that meeting of the 13th to then plan and lead June 16, 1976. And so the action committee. In the morning, woke up to my school because you see, the march was to converge at my school. So I had to be the host of the marches, and me and of course the students in my school. And as we were waiting with the students, a very cold morning, by the way, let me not forget to say that, it was June, it's the month of, that kind of a weather. And around about 9, we could hear students, with songs and Senzenina, Senzenina, Senzenina. So there were those songs that were coming, advancing towards our school. Then I pulled out our students and then said to them, look, let's go and actually welcome them. And then we went out there to welcome the students from they were led by Tsietsi. And let me tell you, it was at the corner of Vilakazi Street and Mwema Street where we met with them. And it is on that corner where we were not aware that behind them they were followed by the police. And the police started shooting and throwing tear gas canisters. But our God was very good to us that day. And let me tell you what happened. The fumes of the tear gas were blowing back to them. The wind was blowing their direction. So instead of affecting us, it was affecting them more than us. And then after that, they decided to release dogs. So they then released the police dogs. And we did not have any form of weapon to defend ourselves, to even do anything violent, because that march was never planned to be violent.
Youth of 1976, we salute you. Lindy Sarame, Kaya FM.